Veronica Jow, MD, is the founder and CEO of Avid Sports Medicine. Veronica, introduce yourself and tell us
Hello.
more.
Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here. I'm going to share my screen. All
Yes.
good? Hopefully you can all see that. Okay, great.
We can see that.
All right. Yes, I'm Dr. Veronica Jow. I'm an internist and sports medicine physician in the Bay Area, and I am uniquely positioned to take on one of the biggest gaps in healthcare: access to high quality, comprehensive pain and injury care. So I have been practicing for 13 years, and on one hand, I practiced in the traditional settings, Kaiser, SF General, where people will have a problem and it's the typical story. They'll have multiple visits over weeks or months before they get a diagnosis or even start treatment. On the other hand, I led a sports medicine team at UC Berkeley, where the high-level athlete gets a totally different experience. All hands on deck, a multidisciplinary team that rallies around them to get them better quickly and efficiently. I've also been part of startups, both early and late stage. Most of them are targeted towards increasing access to care, but not necessarily changing the model. So, how many of you have been to the doctor or had a family member that's been to the doctor and you leave and you have no idea what you're supposed to do next? I think that this happens way more often for the everyday person. And I think we need to change our mentality, and that the everyday person should be treated like the professional athlete. In addition, I think this is a really unique moment in history where we're all looking for healing. And I think movement is the medicine that people need to get closer to health and happiness. So how can Avid address the nation's healthcare challenges? Well, I think we all know that we spend a lot of money in this country on healthcare, but we don't actually feel better or live longer, because 70% of deaths are from chronic diseases, but 40% of the most common causes of death are preventable. So our answer is treat each person like an athlete, combine recovery, prevention, and health promotion. So I'm actively practicing physician. I started my practice in 2019, and I opened with a vision for being a one-stop shop, a place where people could go, get a diagnosis, start treatment on the same day. Doesn't sound revolutionary, but it is. We developed our own proprietary treatment protocols, but we were mostly using off-the-shelf web-based tools. And as we started to grow, we realized, well, these were kind of limiting our scope of care. And that's why we decided to launch our own platform. Our solution is comprehensive, evidence-based injury recovery and training that could be delivered directly from any healthcare office. So let's say you go to see your primary care physician, you have some neck pain or some back pain. Instead of just giving you pills or referring you on, that practitioner can prescribe Avid. You sign up that same day, you select your diagnosis, and you start treatment that day, no waiting. And when you're done with that treatment, you're not cast off back into the ether to re-injure yourself. You go through a sports training and wellness that's going to help you return safely to your activity and prevent future injury. But we're more than just about movement. I really feel, and I live every day, the experience of people who have a problem that is all-encompassing. So if we just give people a few exercises, I don't think that cuts it. We need to address the 4 pillars of health and provide a comprehensive solution. Movement is important, but also rest, mindset, and fuel. And I think with this model, we're going to have better outcomes and lower costs. The product features that I'm really excited about are, number one, videos that are evidence-based programs for recovery. No more Googling or going on YouTube and looking for how to treat my neck pain. Here's a curated set of exercises that are going to help you. Number 2, group sessions. I think we should harness the community aspect of recovery. I think that lends itself to accountability and better outcomes when you're with people that are experiencing the same thing. Goal setting and tracking, giving people incentives that resonate with them. Some people care about how many steps they take. Some people don't care about counting that. They may care more about, am I going to be able to hike that, Mount Tam, which is on my goal list, but making it specific to the person. And then progression. Rather than a typical physical therapy program that ends when you're feeling okay, we take you to the next step. How do you get back to running, hiking, biking, playing with your kids? What's important for long-term outcome and maintenance? The business model I see can span 3 different channels. The one I first mentioned is the health practitioner's office. That doesn't have to be a physician. It can be anybody that sees someone for pain or injury. Another aspect is what we've been doing here already, corporate wellness. That's where people spend the most of their time, whether they're at home or whether they're in the office, and that's who delivers their healthcare. So there's a huge opportunity to bring this solution there, as well as recreational groups. Are you on a club team? Do you play recreational sports? Those people are also looking for ways to get better, ways to feel better, ways to do their sport more. There are lots of niche healthcare apps out there. We all know them. This is a quick snapshot. And I think a lot of them do their thing very well, but no one's putting it all together. I think physical therapy is great, but if you are spending all day stuck in one position, you're not eating well, you're not sleeping well, you're not taking care of yourself, you're unlikely to have a good outcome. These are huge markets. There's no doubt about it. Sports medicine and physical therapy, employee wellness, and online fitness and training are over a $221 billion market. So there's a huge opportunity. This doesn't have to be something that's just a, service or charity-based thing. We can make this a profitable market. We've had great success so far just using off-the-shelf tools. We've grown over the past 3 years. And we've projected that when we get our platform up and running, this is going to be a profitable solution. I think we're a unique model in this department because we're the team on the ground right now doing the work. We've got the industry traction, we've got real experience and professional expertise. And that's not something you see with a lot of software that's being developed. It's not usually coming from the practitioners. I think this will make it really powerful. Our current leadership team is, including me, is Julieta Guzman, who's our head athletic trainer and director of sports medicine. And we have a director of operations as well. So aside from that leadership team, I've amassed a team of specialists that span all the different specialties that we're bringing together for care. And I'm really proud of this team. We don't look like the typical tech team or even the typical sports medicine team, but we're leading with our expertise. And I think not only are we going to make the experience great for patients, but for practitioners and providers who want to give a better experience, this is for them as well. We have a first-class reputation amongst our patients, amongst the corporate employers that we work with, and I'm really, really proud of this and looking forward to expanding it outside of the 4 walls we exist in now. So what's next for us? We're going to build our platform and take our clinic-based model to the millions who will benefit. We're currently raising $1 million, and we think that will help us develop our platform, expand our outreach, and build our team. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Veronica. Any questions for Veronica?
Hi, Dr. Jow. I have a question regarding the platform itself. How many hours do you put into work of the mind and all the other aspects? Because I can see you're passionate about medicine and what you do and everything, but then you have all the other factors going on into the app. And I'm just wondering how much work is to get all those resources into the app.
I think I understand your question. So I'm personally not trying to be anyone's nutritionist, mental health specialist, or, any of those other things. And that's why I partnered with other people who are bringing those in. So I'm not developing all of those. Our partners work with our patients currently in a one-on-one setting, but we also do monthly workshops. We try to give people little nuggets throughout their experience. I think hitting them all at once with all of those things sometimes is overwhelming. And also they don't all lend themselves to the same type of content. So, watching a video about nutrition probably isn't as exciting, right? You want to vary the type of content that you're serving people. Did that answer your question?
In some way, yes.
Okay, maybe
was-
detail it out a little more.
Yeah, maybe, I'm just wondering, since you're saying that it's personalized too. So I guess it's hard to have an app to be personalized for every single patient. How do you keep track of how do you personalize every single patient? Because every single patient is different. As you said, it's really hard to make someone excited about a nutrition video that they can see on YouTube. So it's you want that patient to keep going.
Yeah. So you don't have to personalize every piece of content, but you do need to personalize maybe the order that they receive it in. So taking a survey at the beginning, say, what do they care most about? What do they want to change? What are their goals? And then feeding it to them in a way that reflects that. So I think there's ways to make personalization scalable, even using AI, so that you can ask them some behavioral-based questions, you can ask them goal-based questions, and you can use that to bring them along through the same set of content.
Great. We have one more question, or actually two more. Emerald, you're next.
Hi, this is really great. I think you've been developing a great product, and I'm all for the integrative approach and patient-centered approach, because you have to get the buy-in. I saw that you're primarily West Coast based. Wondering if you reach out to the East Coast. And currently, I'm still at the Hospital for Special Surgery, which is kind of well known for sports. So if you want me to make some introductions, I'm very, very happy to.
Oh, that's so cool. I did my residency at New York Presbyterian Cornell. Oh, okay. So I first learned about sports medicine at HSS. So that's really cool. So I haven't reached out to them. I think what is powerful about building this platform is that it doesn't have to stay in California. Right now, I'm licensed in California. So all of the patients that I see are here, but we, through an app-based model, we can reach other people. And, that's one of the drivers for this is how can we expand what we're doing.
Okay, so let's definitely connect.
Yeah, let's connect. Thank you.
Of course.
Great, thanks. Up next is Eric. Eric Harris has a question.
Yeah, this is great platform. And the question I have is addressing scale. So obviously, you and the members able to create videos. There's going to be a capacity on that. But how are you looking at addressing scaling so that you can grow and actually, retain more customers and meeting that demand with the videos and information you're providing?
Yeah. So believe it or not, we already have most of the videos that relate to any particular body part. The sports medicine piece of this is actually fairly straightforward. There are a finite amount of exercises you could do, but it's delivering it out that we're not able to do in our current form. I think the way to scale a lot of those PT healthcare apps, they have a one-on-one kind of model where okay, you're meeting with somebody one-on-one. That's where the groups come in, the community groups idea, because what we want to do is provide knee pain class, back pain class, and maybe make it like a Peloton model. So you're in a class, it's live, you can interact in some capacity, but a lot of people have the same questions, we answer the same question over and over all day, right? And also outside of a video, you can watch a video, but giving those little nuances oh, you got to add this little tilt to your pelvis or watch out for this. And I think people just get more engaged when it's live. One of the things we do right now is live fitness and wellness classes. That's part of our It's part of our clinic. Anyone can join them anywhere. So we've really been testing out like how to be interactive and engaging in a live way. So I think that's another thing that's going to help us. And then giving this to the other way to scale is the sales channels, right? So arming other physicians, other practitioners with this tool is a way to get it out there, as well as going to, say, an employer or another type of group. Did that answer your question?
Yes, yep. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hey, John Butler has a question. John, go ahead.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, good. Hi, Veronica. Very, very cool stuff. It's a little bit out of my sort of area of expertise, but in one of your slides, you mentioned 3 business models, B2B, B2C, and I forget what the other one was, but which business model are you focused on now, or are you focused on all 3, and how do you manage that?
Yeah, right now I'm focused on the practitioner model, which can be B2B or B2C. So depending on how you structure the relationship. So for example, if you were a private practice physician and you had your, panel of patients, you may want to license this for yourself and give it out as sort of your own, Avid sponsored solution. The other way you could do it is turn it over to your patient. Say, I'm prescribing this and it's a subscription-based model, and you will pay for the subscription. And, I'm more like leading you there. And I used to work at One Medical, and that was kind of the model for some of the app-based solutions that we had on the side, like nutrition or other types of things that weren't like the bread and butter of the primary care. So I think we would start with that and then expand to the other things. But like in honesty, we're doing all those things right now as a live clinic. I just think focusing, like arming the practitioner first would be my primary focus.
Great. Thomas Wiest.
Yeah,
Question?
thanks, Veronica. Also partial to your presentation, because that's my daughter's first name, but she uses a K instead of a C. So well done. Yeah, a little bit similar, I think, to what John just asked is, I see the B2B sort of thing, when you step into the offices of KPMG or Google or, and set up the table, everyone's kind of interested. To me, it feels a little bit like January when the health club sends out their membership. Everyone's excited with their New Year's resolutions to get back in shape. Is there product fatigue? Do you find the interest in the services waning, or is it just because since everybody still gets hurt, there's always a market for it? I mean, see, it seems like it's a really enthusiastic, great thing right at the start, but then what's the longevity? How do you get repeat customers and or customer longevity with the model?
Yeah, I think that's a problem with pretty much any physical therapy that's out there, is getting people to stick to it. So I see 2 things that we're doing that are different than what other people are doing. One is the community groups aspect, like social interaction. I think right now is the way to reel people in and get them excited. And just in having group fitness classes now, we see how much people interact, even they've never met each other, they're on a screen. And I think there's an accountability there when you have a group. So that's one way to keep people going. And then, like I said, making sort of incentives or tracking that's special to them. Maybe they don't care about, maybe some people need daily reminders, right? And they want a text or something to pop up on their screen. Maybe other people want to see that, like, the finish line of that race that they want to do, and like that's their motivator. So just putting like little things like that in, I think is going to help people. And also, because we're not just focused on the movement-based things, it's going to be more an all-encompassing thing for them, right? And then the other thing is, like, how do you keep people, that's one problem a traditional clinic like mine has. Oh, you feel better. Well, now I've lost you. I did my job too well, and now I need a new customer. So that's where the sports training and wellness-based things come in, because I'm sure anybody, who's worked with patients knows that if they just go back to what they were doing before and they made no changes, they're going to end up back in the same place they were. And so helping people to, what we do now is we're like, okay, your knee feels better. Now it's time for your running program that's going to get you back to running. And by the way, you weren't warming up before you run. Like, now here's a tool that's going to help you like be a better runner and keep you from coming back into my office. Can we prevent everybody from leaving? No, but I think by developing like trust and following them through their journey, we're going to have more longevity with the customer.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you, Veronica, for presenting.